You already know what time it is. I got the hoodie on again because it's cold. It's cold. But I would much rather be freezing than being... I would much rather freeze than die from heat stroke. Actually, no, the freezing is more painful because with heat stroke, you just pass out. But see, heat stroke is just such a long process. But so is being frozen. You let me know, which way would you rather die? Heat stroke or freezing to death? I just need a breeze. That's all I need. We got the new Brockhampton album, and I know so many of you guys are telling me to listen to it. I don't really know anything about Brockhampton. I know a lot of people have been telling me to check it out. I'm pretty sure it's a group, and it's not just one person. I know they're kind of an indie group, like an alternative kind of group. And I do know they have an album before this, but let me listen to this one first before the comments go roaring saying, bro, you gotta listen to this one now. Chill, all right? Let this one resonate. Let it engulf me. This album's called Saturation. The album's called Saturation. Then submerge me in this moistness. Pause. Track number one we've got, it's called Heat. Let's get into it.
I got pipe dreams and crack rocks and stripper poles, so I got secrets only.
Hold up. First of all, that bass is ridiculous. The dude just opened his mouth. Pause. And the first thing he says is, I got pipe dreams. I got pipe dreams of crack rock. Oh my god!
Got the product. Squirm. I love when bitches bleed. Sucking on the barrel, you can't hear a scream. So then call the cops on my niggas. That's the first one to go. Call the cops.
Who called him?
When I'm on your block, it no be thing, no be issue when I'm off it. It's the hardest every time I seen it touch it. The feelings for all you little demons.
All right, so the first track we have been introduced to I almost called him Brock Lesnar. And that was a very strong intro track. Coming in with the very heavy bass, and I like his energy. So all I really know about this group is that there aren't named members necessarily, and the main person behind this is a guy named Kevin Abstract. But other than that, they seem to be a very low-key group of people that don't actually want to be named, which is a little aggravating, but I do understand why. It keeps the intimacy within the group. But let's see what they're doing. Let's see what track number 2 has. Gold. They're getting me with these beats.
Fly as a jet, boy, better treat me with respect. Keep a gold chain on my neck.
Put some respect on his name.
Be admitted 5 on the highway. Whole world get a little with the long pipe. Ice cream when I hit it with the sweet thing. Do my thing, no I do not do speak.
Oh God.
I'm over this bitch, I got a new swing. I got Bob.
Let me long when I grip her sides and slip inside like a slip and slide. My electric booty. So glad like all of me. Booty. Grab the camcorder, we can make it a movie.
Oh!
Keep a gold chain on my neck, fly as a jet. Boy, better treat me with respect. So that's clean, bitch. You can't play with my team, bitch. Platinum and it's painless. It just skip on a beat like a Pee Wee Herman. Hands up for all my.
So the inner me wants to go ahead and say that track is about all the things that are important to them, what they need to, basically the things that they hold to value. Like money's important, the jewelry is important, the possessions are important, but respect is also a priority. Or they're just literally making another turn-up track, which I don't mind because it sounds really good. It's really produced very well. It's always a little bit of an addition with the track, and they're always adding something on top of something that they already did. So in the very beginning of the track, we get him rapping because I don't know who the members of this group are. We have someone behind him kind of giving vocals, adding vocals like, ooh. Just that they keep changing the pace of the song. It never stays that consistent, so it's always exciting. It's always, you know, kind of moving and transforming. Track number 3, Star. Okay. The bass is ridiculous. It's so sexy, the bass.
When it's Stella, I feel like Matthew McConaughey. I don't care for what they gotta say. Tony Perkins, how I dropped away. Liam Neeson with the rescue. I go gunner with the leather face. Bruce Campbell with the chains.
Liam Neeson with the rescue. Boy, I'm telling you, that bass is ridiculous. Drop the B off bass is so sexy. What do you got after you drop the B off a bass? Exactly. Now plow it.
Guess I'm eating them raw. They don't know who we are. Molly shit and I'm a super Chris Paul. I'm assistant. Me go Blake Griffin. We go 04 Pistons. Catch
04 Pistons were the greatest. I don't care what anyone says. If you didn't think that Pistons were in their prime in 2004, you're crazy. I don't remember what year they had the championship against the Spurs were, but that was a great game as well. That was a great finals. They'll never get there again. They'll never get there again. I like this track too because he's focused on the narrative of the title, which is rapping and using like superstar metaphors. He's mentioning Matthew McConaughey, mentioning John Wick, not leaving a witness, Anthony Hopkins. Like, I love this track.
Deep red, how I'm top fly. Go Obama when I try mine.
Oh my god.
Hanks, secret agent Cody Banks. Quarter pound of the dank. I'm to the nightclub. I'm like
I love this track.
Bring her back to South Central. I shine just like a pop star. MJ my initial. Kobe Bryant with the spin moves. I just gave my nigga head. Standing on.
What did he just say? Hold up. I'm not stupid. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't rock with that. You can't just throw that in there after you just had me with the beat. I'm gonna go into Sony Vegas and I'm gonna cut that part out of the song and pretend like we never heard it. We're just gonna move past it. But pause.
Good, they ain't fuck with me. Now critics don't fuck with me. My own fan ain't fuck with me. That's okay, I got more money. Not enough to get my teeth fit.
Probably my favorite track because of the narrative they stuck to about rapping, about superstars. I love that. Just take a concept and use nothing but metaphors for the entire song. I love that. Is my favorite song idea. Anytime you can always grab me by sticking to the narrative of the title. That always gets me. Pretty cool track. But from what I can get, one of the members so far is gay. So maybe if you could lead people into that a little bit less aggressively, so that I'm not completely thrown off by what you say, so I know what to expect from you, that'd be cool. Track number 4, Boys. This is crazy.
Just like Harry, I cop it and I flip it, have it sitting on Pirellis. My probation, fuck your jurisdiction, fuck the. I don't have no fear, nigga, by the ounce. My whip sit 26, nigga. Something like a poster. Sitting on your girl's wall and
sounds like Mac Miller.
What the fuck you mean? I can't feel myself. Oh, girl,
exactly. This is insane.
Motels, I'm good. Bitch, I'm
out of college, fucking the same campus. Tell me about limits.
You can't dislike this. You're evil if you dislike this. They definitely have some really dope production right now. I am highly entertained. So track number 5, Tupac.
Mama called a rapper. I know she praying for me, but I'm in the shadow. And for me, I know you used to trust me. I miss the chicken nuggets.
Don't really know why that track was called Tupac. They kind of killed my high with that one. Track number 6, Skit number 1.
Where are you going? What happened to y'all's house?
So I heard him say, "Where are you going?" And then I heard him say, "De casa" or "Mi casa" maybe. So maybe he said, "I'm going to your house," or "I'm going to someone's house," or "I'm going to my house." Track number 7, Fake. See, they know how to produce these tracks. I'm sorry, this is what I'm talking about when I say you need help. You cannot do everything on your own. And I'm sorry I gotta mention it again, but Russ and the Russ fans, this is the product of getting help from people. This is the product of not being arrogant. This is the product of knowing that other people have great ideas too, and sometimes it's not a bad thing to receive help from outside. Just because you can do everything on your own does not mean you should. That was my mating call. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Wow, if you got a problem, we can figure it out. I'm from H-Town with the gold in my mouth. Southside niggas put up, send them to the dock, gotta open him up. Niggas load guns, gotta get a gun for your hateful foes. Flex too hard, he can't be close. You know what? Passing me, I'm getting tested, but nobody passing me. Flyer like it's a gallery, don't need your salary.
Production is amazing.
Tight as a hair tie.
I'm not letting you get away with that. I don't care how much I'm enjoying the song. If I hear a cringe bar, I will call out said cringe bar. No, we're not doing that. You're doing good. I banish you from this album if you do that again. Track number 8, Bank.
Mind up and since you told me you were walking, I've been such a honey to you. And all I heard was I ain't listening. Believe I hear you out, see me in your area. If you got an offer, let me know. I was till I met some niggas with fingers on the trigger. We was running, kicking in the doors. Niggas on that word.
Another cooler track. I think that kind of ties into the money chase aspect of the rap group so far. I feel like they're more so talking about how they've grown in, I guess, chasing the money as opposed to, you know, being so desperate in order to get it. Or at least that's what I got from the last guy's verse. He's rapping from his own perspective and telling the story of how he used to sell drugs and then he, you know, kind of upgraded to robbery. I like how in the beginning, the first guy who's rapping, there's these vocals in the beginning like, yeah. Like I said, adding something to the track to make it a little bit more transformative is always a joy for me. And then the bass drops during the last guy's verse. Track number 9, skit number 2. Alright, so first skit we got the guy asking, where are you going? The second skit he's asking, who are you? So let's keep going. Track number 10, Trip.
It's a girl fantasy, this is our fantasy. Baby boy, boy, boy. Flap your wings, go high. Go Katie, we get all the drugs and education. The black folks on your parents' races. We still best friends. Everybody smelling, family full of athletes. I was kinda chubby, shit was never sunny.
I like that. Alright, so for that track, I do get the narrative of saying, I guess trying to get people to be who they want to be, and that's kind of literally said throughout the hook of the song. Today I'm going to be whoever I want to be. It actually tackles and references their own life, saying that you can't be with the black dude because your parents are racist. You can't, referencing his own life, saying that, oh, you know, my family was athletic, but I was a little bit on the chubbier side, and not to feel pressured to be anyone because of societal standards. So I get the point of the track. It is a nice track. Auto-tune in the end is a little, I don't know if I would consider it cheesy or unneeded, but it's not the best thing in the world. It doesn't ruin the song. It's just, I don't think it's necessary. Track number 11, Swim.
Should not matter. You love to show out. I love it on you. I love it on you. I love it on you. When you I don't need no cash. Had a dream last night that you love me back. It happened how it happened. Fell in love, but it ain't gon' last. No rain when they check my class. Got a minute, got a second, got a day. Chasing sanity while niggas chasing clout.
That was another okay track. I get the narrative of a lot of these tracks, and with that one, it's more about, you know, chasing what you like, what you love, swimming in your own kind of world, in your own life, I guess you could say. Swimming into things and being drowned, but I don't even know. I'm trying to use water analogies here, but I'm guessing, you know, just trying to be one with what you really want and what you really believe in, as opposed to, as he said, you know, the ending part of the track, as opposed to chasing money and chasing clout. I'm chasing you, I'm chasing love. This is a bit of a slower track. It's kind of opposite what we were getting in the beginning, but we're gonna move on to track number 12, which is Bump.
I was drunk, getting crunk with my baby, who was up? Bump, bump in my trunk, bump, bump in my trunk. Be the bad man, I'm cutting you, got them don't know you can see the bad.
This ends, at least I have a reason to live.
That was quite the change.
I've been trapping down my mama house. Dope boy money, keep the water and the lights on. You the one I changed on. I just won the Grand lottery. I sell it by the gram now. Tell me who you fuck with.
Okay. And then here we go.
This is how it is.
The thing about this track is this is gonna bump in a whip. He actually says it bumps in the trunk. You got a system, this thing is gonna go crazy. I think I really like the second verse as well, because that was like really bar heavy, basically saying his sex is so good and the schlong is so right. He's selling it by the gram now. That's a dope line. A very energetic and hyped track. I think the change of pace into, I don't even know, like the part where it's softer and the one guy's like harmonizing and singing a little bit more as opposed to being hyperactive. I think that's a bit of an aggressive change, and then you get such an aggressive beat drop and then such aggressive production, but maybe if it works, I know some people will like it. Me personally, I think it's a very aggressive change, so I don't know. Maybe you'll have to prepare yourself for that. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. Maybe it's a nice change of pace. I don't think the vocal part of the song is relevant enough for you to say that this is a major highlight or part of the song for you to say, oh, okay, I'm really waiting for this part to come on. Unless you just want to hear the bass drop again, which I understand the point of the song. Track number 13, Cash.
Get money, big bands, simple bands. Get money, big bands, simple bands.
Okay.
Who come at my scholarship and kick us out our neighborhood? Play our music, make a mix. Play our music, make a mix. But boy, danger boy. Simple bands.
Okay. production is beautiful. We're getting back to the roots now. I like this. Oh, I love the bass drop in the hook of that song. I love the end of the song where it's like, be against the world. And then the beautiful production plays at the end of the track. The production is very serene throughout the entire thing. It's tranquil, even though it does have bass in it. Kind of causing you to think the way they want you to in this track, which is to be against the world, be against society. All these biases that you have to chase money. You need it in order to, I guess, succeed some way in life. I'm not gonna lie, I think the subject matter for the track is slightly unrealistic. You have a large group of people who, although they do know that money is not the source of everything, it's not the money itself, it's always what you can do with it. No one's ever obsessed with getting money. They're obsessed with the things that they can do with it. They're obsessed with, maybe I can take care of my family. Maybe I can, show so-and-so a good time. Maybe I can make such and such happy. It's not necessarily the money, but I do think it's a little bit unrealistic to expect, or not even to expect, but to think people would take this ideology and go with it. Even with you mentioning the fact that, money in the dollar is going to lose its value one day, I think it is slightly unrealistic for you to tackle it in that way, knowing the state that the world is in right now. I get the dependence off of revenue should be a substantial issue, but I don't think it's a very realistic issue to tackle, in my opinion. But I do like where they were going, and it is admirable to have people thinking this way, but when you're in the position to make money, it's a lot easier saying that people shouldn't view it as their main, drive. Again, which it isn't, it's just most people look at that as a source for what they can do with it. Still a good track, beautifully produced. Track number 14, skit number 3.
Do you ever feel like you don't belong? I know sometimes I feel that way.
Sí, o sea, no sé, hay días que uno piensa.
I think I get where he's coming from with this skit too. I think, him asking the other guy, do you ever feel like you don't belong? And it seems like this is the foreigner that's speaking amongst the group of fans. Like, he's the Fez. If you guys have ever watched that 70s show, he's the Fez of his group. And he's asking someone who clearly does not belong within this group, do you ever feel like you don't belong? You ask him, who are you? You ask him, where are you going? And a lot of that could actually be turned around. Like, even though he's the foreigner in this group, or maybe he's the outsider, you could very well be the outsider in your own group, and you could feel like you don't belong in your own society. So maybe I understand what he's trying to say. Like, you don't feel like you belong in this world or in this group of people. Track number 15, Milk.
Sleep. I lost a couple words. I tripped my fucking teeth. And it's a couple women. And they know some things. My name is Merlyn. I just applied for food stamps. I just moved to California with my boy band. Dropped out of a good school. I gotta get better at being
On this one way, I just wanna be somebody someday. Dropping all I got.
I like the way that came in.
Dropping all I got on this one way. I just wanna be apart the moment that you thought you found yourself, and all the skeletons are ready for your story.
The track Milk kind of falls into the narrative of the track I was talking about before, where you feel like you don't belong, or maybe you feel like an outsider. So I get what he's saying, and at the end of the day, he says you can tell this, or the skeletons are ready for your story, means, in my opinion, like, everyone's gonna die one day. So and that track is pretty introspective as well. He talks about how he leaves his college to join the boy band in California, which is Brockhampton. So I like that track. I don't think I would listen to it multiple times, but I do like it. I like the narrative. I like where it's going. Track number 16, Face.
Tell me what you waiting for. These other niggas, they just passing your time. They don't know how to ride the tidal waves that crash in your thighs. But I got a dream, and if you got a plan for you, I'm taking the stand for you. I can't for
Take the stand.
what you waiting for. I just wanna love you.
Okay. This is Hit Me.
Still feel alone. You make it warm in my bed.
I like that track. Every member on there is kind of giving their own experience about the love that they've had recently. I get it. It's a nice track. Actually, is a mood-setting track without all the features. If we just have the vocalist giving the vocals on the hook the entire song, that would be a mood-setting song. And the final track we've got on here is Waste, track number 17. Let's get it. Like this track. Oh, oh, yeah! Oh, that guitar! Oh! That final track was beautiful. I love how in the beginning it's like they're recording him while he's being recorded live, like he's in the studio and they're recording him, and then it goes into the studio production instead. I love the transition from that. His vocals are great. He carries the song just for the right amount of time. It doesn't go on for too long. I think 2 minutes is a good amount of time for him to be on that track. And how I'm feeling about the entire album, Brockhampton, Saturation. I think this was a really nice compilation of just overall music. They are the definition of an indie group, and I do get when you compare a group like Injury Reserve to them, I do get subtle vibes of Injury Reserve within their music, only for a certain point. Injury Reserve kind of sticks more so to the hip-hop rap feel. Although they are a group that relies heavy on like production and around the hip-hop sound, they do also make a lot of turn-up music. They are very experimental when it comes to the, I guess, the certain tracks that they use to make hype songs. So that's kind of what I was getting in the very beginning of this album up until like track number 6 or 7. We get a bunch of strong tracks in the opener, like nothing but pure consistency, some strong hip-hop vibes, some strong rapping. Everybody seems to be able to hold their own weight. I don't know how many members there are. There seem to be quite a few. I would assume at least around maybe 6 to 10 members. I don't know how many that are giving their own features on this album. I love how they incorporate themselves onto the tracks. Again, you don't know any of their names except for the, you know, the main guy. And even him, you can't really, or it's hard to at some times differentiate who's rapping on what beat based off their voice alone. As far as production is concerned, this group focuses heavy on being a little bit more against the grain and being a little bit more unorthodox. They tend to transform their beats a lot while they're going for a certain amount of time. So a beat might start off one way with a certain sound, they'll transform it, or they'll add a little something, or take a little bit of something away, or the person may change their flow or their cadence a little bit to kind of complement the song and give it a little bit more life. And that, in my opinion, makes for a more or an overall enjoyable listening experience, as opposed to keeping one hook, one chorus, one beat, one flow, one cadence the entire song. I think that's a little boring, which is why I think the features on this thing make it so such a joy to listen to, because there's so many different vibes going on, especially when it comes to subject matter. You got people rapping about dealing drugs, you got people rapping about being homosexual, you got people rapping about you know, how they feel about leaving college and going to join this boy band. Overall, you just get a bunch of different perspectives that are mixed into one body of work, which is why I don't think this is really a concept album. It's more or less just a group of guys that decided to make an album, and they got all their own ideas that's thrown on there. And I feel like a lot of different people will be able to get on these tracks, and they'll be able to listen to them and be like, oh man, I like this track the most, I like this track the most. And it's a little something for everybody to take away from. I wouldn't say it's an aggressive, it's a transitional kind of change. The beats start out more hip-hop-esque, a little bit more rap infested. The flows are a little bit more aggressive in the beginning, and then they kind of transition slowly but surely into the second half of the album over these little bit more smoother productions, a little bit more softer tracks that have a little bit more I guess emotional or love infested subject matter. And I do like that because it shows how much variety and range they have as a group. As far as being a cohesive project, I wouldn't necessarily say it's that. If you're looking for a hip-hop album just through and through, I don't necessarily think you would get that with this album. I would say a little bit less than half of the tracks are just straight hip-hop, straight rap. There is a lot of rapping that's throughout this entire album, though. I think they rap throughout a lot of the songs, and even on songs that don't have that hip-hop rap kind of beat behind it, or a boom bap beat, or a trap beat, turn up beat, they still manage to find themselves rapping over beats that are not really meant for it and making it work well. I don't think they're hitting me with any like bombs of truth or dropping like massive knowledge on me. I do like where they're coming from on a lot of these tracks. I like how they're explaining themselves. I like how they articulate themselves, how they get their points out there. But overall, it's not an album that I'm going to be looking at for concept or, you know, trying to get me to think a certain way. It's just, you know, a group of guys that decided to make an album together, and I think it sounds amazing. I think the creativity that it took to make something like this and form it into a complete body of work was a good move. As far as tracks that I feel could be dropped, I don't think the skits really needed to be a part of it. I feel like the point of the album is to kind of cater to outsiders to a certain degree. It actually says that and kind of gets that point across through the skits on this thing. Skits that I feel are cool, although I don't think they are, you know, terribly necessary, because you kind of get a lot of what the skit is trying to portray in a lot of the tracks that are on here. So as far as the skits are concerned, I don't really think they needed to be on here, but I think they're a nice addition. And if you couldn't somehow get the message of where they were trying to go with some of the tracks, maybe the skits will explain it a little bit better for you. They aren't that long, they aren't overbearing, they don't take up too much of the album. They're just there just to be there and to get their point across. Without the skits, I think this is just a 14-track album, which I think is a good length. So Brockhampton, Saturated, I would give a 7 out of 10 to. I think it's a really dope project. I think the instrumentation, I think the production on this thing is great. I think they tackle a lot of different issues. I think they come from various different perspectives. I would definitely come back to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know what your favorite track is down in the comment section below. I'm going to listen to this thing more. I'm going to kind of unravel it and kind of live with it for a little bit and see what else I can take from it. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. I'll see you next time. Let me know again what your favorite Brockhampton track is down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.